You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about the New Orleans Saints because, number one, fans are furious down there that we're sitting here on January 12th and Dennis Allen still has a job, but he still has a job. Raiders fans are sitting back going, we could have told you that this was probably going to happen. I think Mickey Loomis, he can see the writing on the wall. He's a hell of a GM. He's a hell of a football lifer. And I think that's why they're very close to bringing Jon Gruden in. I made that video the other day. Chucky's about to come back somewhere in the NFL. And word has it, senior offensive assistant with the Saints is going to be his position. Why is all this happening? Because Dennis Allen has lost control of his team in his locker room. All right, we're going to take a look at an article in a minute. Fans are furious, and this is embarrassing to the Saints, but there was an online movement. A fan was receiving GoFundMe donations because he was going to put up a billboard that said, "Fire Dennis Allen," right there in New Orleans for everybody to see. But after he got the money, the advertising company that he had talked to for the billboard jacked up their price real high. So he refunded everybody's GoFundMe money. Said, well, they jacked it up so high he would have never raised enough money. So he had raised enough, and then they changed the price on him. So nonetheless, he gave all the money back, and then an anonymous donor jumped in and said, you know what? We'll go through Lamar Advertising. And right here got in touch with him, and they're going to fully fund this billboard that says, "Fire Dennis Allen." So that's still going to get done. They're just going to use a different billboard company. Quote, "They decided to come along and do it, and I can't thank them enough. I didn't know there were money fairies in New Orleans. I didn't." Well, all right. You're getting your Fire Dennis Allen billboard. It's going to get done. Everybody and their mother can see what's going on with the Saints right now. I don't put all this on Derek Carr, okay? I mean, if you're going to pay $30 million a year for a quarterback, I think you've got to have an offensive mind in there that can actually use him, and why not bring in Gruden? Because, well, he knows how to use Derek Carr, and they're very tight. And one thing we know, Chucky is not putting up with any nonsense if he's in the building, and we have since learned there's all kinds of nonsense. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you, I said Arthur Smith should lose his job after that temper tantrum he threw, and he should. But Dennis Allen should have also cut some players after they decided to go against his wishes on the field. Look, you got to have enough balls to make the hard call. I understand. There's some of those players that have a massive fan following in New Orleans. It doesn't matter. You go against your coach, do you have authority or not? Cut them. And these cultural problems, we're finding out there's no accountability there. And it's because it seems like Dennis Allen has lost institutional control over his team. Now, I'm surprised Mickey Loomis is even letting this go. I am. I'm surprised he's not just firing Dennis Allen on the spot, especially with all of these different coaches out there, Mike Vrabel, Jim Harbaugh, all these different hotshot coaches, Bill Belichick. You want to instill some, you're talking 3 right there that could come in and drop the hammer on these guys. So the Advocate's Jeff Duncan, he wrote a article about cultural problems with the Saints for NOLA.com, and there's an alarming through line for all of this. Allen's role is in decay. It's not a good sign. I don't even know why waste an opportunity. Just get rid of him. I don't get it. It isn't that Allen has had an influence in players showing up late for meetings or parking in handicap spots, which Jeff Duncan reported. It's that his lack of influence has let all of this slide. He's not a leader who inspires his players to do better. Obviously, they've got no accountability. As his former co-worker and Raiders CEO Amy Trask observed earlier this week, Allen is a coach that players do the minimum for, not someone they'd run through a wall for. This is why I think Jon Gruden ends up down there. Because Chucky is not putting up with this shit. That extends to dedicating time at home watching tape on their Microsoft tablets. See, they can track all of the time they're putting in. I mean, Johnny Manziel famously put 0.0 seconds into watching his tablet at home in game time. I kid you not. He admitted to it. Instead of spending time with his friends and family, which Duncan reports was something dozens of players slacked off on midway through the season. Now, to be clear, professional football players should be making time to study game film and improve on their own. They deserve some blame for not doing that. Absolutely, they're adults. But this still goes back to Allen. A better coach would compel his players into being responsible and putting in the extra effort to prevent this from happening in the first place. You cut somebody that gets everybody's attention. That's what Jimmy Johnson would do. I'm just saying. That Saints players were comfortable checking out when away from the facility speaks volume about how little respect Allen commands from them. To his credit, Allen acknowledged that he and the rest of the coaching staff needs to be better, just like players and everyone else in the organization during his end-of-year press conference. Quote, everyone in the building is part of the culpability. All of us, coaches, players, everybody. And so we have to look at what do we need to do to change. I've got a question. Does anybody really believe that Sean Payton would have put up with this crap? He just benched Russell Wilson. I mean, I have a feeling Dennis Allen's got 3 or 4 players in there that's causing a lot of commotion or distraction or whatever. Figure out which one of those players is the leader of the bunch and cut his ass. I mean, run him right out of the building. And that might get some people's attention. And then if you get blowback, identify the players that are giving you blowback and cut their asses too. You know, I mean, that's just all there is to it. Let them go. But odds are he's lost the locker room so badly they don't have any respect for him. I am really shocked. I'm really surprised that Mickey Loomis, being a veteran GM, a veteran personnel guy, kind of a known sort of, hard-ass football dude. He knows what he's doing, I think. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that everybody in football has respect for, that is a guy. I'm surprised he's not letting Dennis Allen go right now. It's very shocking to me because I did. Coming into the season, I said the Saints, this is what I said, the Saints are going to win the division. And I think they're going to give a run at the NFC Championship. Really? They won 9 games. I thought they'd win 11 or 12. I thought they would run. You look at that roster, I thought they would run away with that division. But, just like I always say, coaching is so important, and coaching can be everything to a team. You guys really believe that Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan would have Derek Carr looking the way he looks? Really? Because I think they take either one. I think either one of those coaches could take Derek Carr and win 11 or 12 games year in and year out. And I think Gruden was getting very close. Gruden was getting very close to going on a run with Derek Carr. I think they were 3-2 when he got run out. And I think, and that Raiders team ended up making the playoffs, I think they were going to win 10 or 11 games that year with Gruden. And then, of course, they got rid of Gruden and they got rid of Bisaccia. So an extension of Gruden is out. I mean, he's a little more player-friendly than Gruden was, but the players loved him nonetheless. And people that played for Gruden loved him. I think, I said the other day, they're talking about hiring Gruden. I think now we know why they're talking about hiring Gruden. It's not just working with Derek Carr. It's Gruden's presence in the building. Chucky, the scowl, right? Not going to disrespect. You're not going to disrespect Jon Gruden. You're not. He's got that big old Super Bowl ring he's wearing around, and the scowl, and he's not afraid to stand behind. I mean, look, you know what Gruden does to his quarterbacks during practice? He is back there barking at their asses continuously. I mean, just bawling them out the whole time, talking nothing but pure shit to them while they're trying to concentrate on who to throw to. Make a good throw. I don't know. Your footwork kind of bleeping sucks. You know? What are you doing, Carr? Who you throwing that shit to? You know? You were about 4 inches off. That's not accurate. That's Gruden, you know? Chris Sims, who loves Gruden, says it's miserable. It's a miserable experience. Derek Carr loves him, you know? And he's going to bring that presence. I said, if Gruden comes back, he'll take Dennis Allen's job. But I'll be the first to tell you this. Maybe Gruden should be contending for this job right now. I think Dennis Allen, from what I hear, if I was Mickey Loomis and I read this article, you know, I would call Duncan. They do that. These general managers, these coaches, they call these newspaper guys and these media guys. Call them and be like, how many people did you talk to exactly? And this is what's going on in my locker room? Hell no. And I'd fire this cat and get him out of there. Just scrub him out. Start over. You know? You're not going to win with this guy. All I had to see is this. You're not winning with him. Wow. Tell me what you think. I never understood the hire to begin with. I didn't. I was like, oh, we're doing another one of these former failed head coach, coordinator guys. We're doing that again. Ugh. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I don't know. I bet Raiders fans are like, yeah, we could have sort of told you this is how this was going to work out. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.